Whoa, now what it do with it, world? Smiles and now the toothless wonder. You know what I mean? Word life, big. This is just gonna be a little news brief update. So I seen your man LeBron James, LeBron Freaky Yo James. He done stepped away from basketball unexpectedly. They saying he got a bad foot like Kunta Kinte, but he just gone. Now everybody speculating. Why all of a sudden, middle of the season, you just walk away like he pulled a Dennis Rodman, yeah. But I've seen that picture him with the little maid John on, man. Diddy them, I don't mean keep covering this, but the man done busted up. How do one man bust up everybody you see on TV, yo? And that, like, and in relation to, and I'm also getting all this news about these drones, and I'm seeing these TikTok jumps, people posting these portals and whatnot. This is exciting, yo. Just pop the popcorn, it's gonna be 2025. This is like the prelude, 2025, gonna be a show, cuz, and I'm gonna trip. You know what I'm saying? It's just amazing. Like, in the past couple of years, all these various CEOs have stepped away, left the country. Hollywood folk going to places with no extradition. I mean, hey, I can't really say what it is. You know what I'm saying? But whatever it is, it got these people scrambling and scraping. How my man Daddy said, I love to see you scramble, Daddy. Pause. You know what I mean? This is awesome, yo. I think this is the times, let's say, the proverbial chosen have waiting for. You know what I'm saying? Or our ancestors prayed for, yo. Anytime you see the high and mighty falling. And here's another thing I'm saying too, right? You know how, let's say, Negroes, right, how they, ran this campaign to dehumanize us or show us in the worst of light, to the point where we now identify with it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be, sexual what's the word? Sexual objectification or ignorance and so on and so forth. But now I'm saying along the lines of Camel Face Jay-Z, right? And even Diddy to some degree, and these various other people, where they're attempting to garner how would I word it? They're attempting to garner sympathy for humans who have done the most dehumanizing of acts and make them seem human and relatable. You know what I'm saying? It's the tactics they using, to me, reek of desperation. You know what I'm saying? And it's all very, like when we look at, Diddy and the fall of the black icons, right? Then we see the white icons fleeing the country. We see supposed, alleged drones all over the place, hovering over everybody's house, making it look like Independence Day, right? We got the Pope essentially trying to, he's actually conjured up Doctor Strange from the multiverse, and now he's cracking portals, which they probably already been doing that down in CERN and all that, but now he's cracking portals, right? You know what I mean? The awakening of the chosen. You know what I'm saying? These are all seemingly separate, situations, but they all tie in together. You know what I mean? The rise of the chosen. Or here's something, maybe, I don't see it with but technically, and I heard a brother, SRBG, talk about this. Like, what's the difference between an NPC and a low viber? You know what I'm saying? Like, a low viber, is called. He has the potential to be chosen based on how he act, change his life, whatever. But an NPC doesn't really have no say-so in the matter. They're just like, an Autobot, I guess. Technically, even though I knew certain things or I had certain inclinations because of my behaviors and proclivities, I was a low viber. How do you, struggle with alcoholism and still be, for 20 years, and still be, high vibrational? You know what I'm saying? So I end up not realizing this, walking a path, even though my outward circumstance might have been whatever, disappointments with, certain goals and objectives, right? My energy was actually becoming high vibrational. You know what I'm saying? By default, when I removed that, which was lowering my vibration. So now that my vibration is high, for lack of a better word, right? I'm noticing now I either repel or am repelled by low vibrational stuff. But I can meet someone low vibrational where they're at if it seems intuitively that they're seeking answers or they're yearning to become vibrational, even if they can't intellectualize it or quantify it. You see what I'm saying? But in my particular small town, it seems as though there's the spirit of bondage, where I know people who have probably never left their hometown the entire time they've been on Earth. That's insane to me. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll make, you get stale if you don't, at least at the very least, pursue other interests. I've always been a dreamer. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what my outward circumstance was or whatever I was going through internally, I always dreamed of new, dreamed of better. You know what I'm saying? Even if I don't have the skills to get there. In darkness, my dreams kept me alive. The idea, I don't know if it was a belief, but a mental construct of an idea of constructing or quote unquote manifesting a life that's conducive to me as I learned about me. That's why I realized I can't fit into everything, nor do I want to. You're not meant, if you listen to this type of content, you're probably not meant to fit in. You're probably meant to stand out. And in a world where, let's say I can only speak for here in Babylon, where everybody's being herded into groups and labels, I refuse to go in the gate. You know what I'm saying? Or I refuse to be labeled. Here's another thing I was thinking about, right? Again, I'm all over the place with it. You know how your mans and them do it. Now, in the recovery addiction world, they talk about spiritual principles, right? One of which being acceptance, which I used to over intellectualize that, right? But spiritual principles apply to all aspects and area of life. So let's say like this, right? Like I'll practice acceptance in relation to, my previous drug addiction. But I won't practice acceptance in other areas of life. Let's say romantically. Or let's say it like this, right? Like, when I was working, everyone said I was very stoic. You know what I'm saying? Very, calm in chaotic situations. I had been trained to do that, being in, chaotic situations all my life. So that ain't nothing new. So ain't nothing to get all alarmed about or whatever, right? But I wouldn't necessarily, no, I would practice stoicism, but in my mind, I'm contemplating events that have never happened and wondering if I can be stoic. You know what I'm saying? Based on what I've stood on or the truth I've told. You know what I'm saying? Like if anybody, play with me in my face, I'm not going to be able to be stoic. Because I don't want to be stoic, because I want to get jiggy with them, right? Because of the work I put in, how dare you talk to me or come at me like that? You not even look down. I mean, I ain't egotistical enough. Man, look, you deserve to look down the ground when you speak to me. I'm just being, you know what I'm saying, in my mind, right? I don't care like that in real life. But I do have the ability to be stoic. It's just in my mind, I don't want to be. But then therein lies the craftiness and the trickiness of the adversary, trying to convince me I don't have skills that I've been exhibiting, or getting me to question my perception or my intelligence. When to this point, as situations have manifested themselves, I've been accurate, pinpoint accurate in the perception of whatever was ahead of me or inside of me, and navigating accordingly. Like one time, and I felt this, I said, yo, I'm questioning my own skills. Like at the job as far as like leading people and doing all that there, right? So it's like, I'm wondering, can I do something I've been doing at a high rate? Like, man, go ahead, bro. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, about the only thing he can do is try to confuse me at this point. Or get me to question the greatest of my ability. That's like me averaging 20 a game, and then I wake up for half a season, right? I'm averaging a strong 20 a game. But then I wake up one day and wondering, can I keep this up? even though I've been doing it. See, that's where that, again, and I'm mindful of all this overthinking and overanalyzing. You know what I'm saying? Because that was a skill that was necessary in seasons past. It's not necessarily a skill that is useful or beneficial now. Not only that, but it's now become a liability and a hindrance. Now I'm mindful of this, so I'm mindful to practice not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Whenever a situation arises, typically along the path, it'll be revealed to me what to do. They say if you have to think about what to do, it's because you don't know what you're doing. But I do know what to do. And see, here's the key though, right? Okay, now I heard my man SRBG say this, and I found it to be very valid, right? So let's say you're chosen. You're probably, whether you quantify it or realize it or not, you're probably going to go through some level of gang stalking, right? I have, however, how I'm set up and constructed, I don't care. It's not that I'm oblivious of it. I'm just so mean, I don't even care. So it might not affect me the same way it might affect other people. Like I used to have the police sit in front of my house after I, had the physical altercation with them, or, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, right? But I don't care. Because I'm so busy ingratiated into my own world and beliefs. I see it. It's there. But it's not nothing for me to overly get all riled up about, right? So level 1 gang stalking is when you start asking questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, why this work like this? Or, yo, cuz, what you think about this? You just start asking questions. And you're probably asking questions to people who are part of the Matrix program simulation. So now the spiritual entities, or however that works, is alerted. So if you keep asking questions, you get funneled into level 2, which I'm well versed in, which is the isolation. They call you crazy. Maybe certain doors of opportunity are closed mysteriously, like when I was in Baltimore. I used to think that too. Now that I think about it, I'm like, yeah, they must know I'm here, yeah, because why I can't get no job, bro? And I ain't committed no acts of, breaking the law in a significant amount of time. And the law I did break wasn't enough for me not to get no job. Where everybody was around had attempts or high volume drug dealing, and they was working at these spots. I used to think, I said, yo, I posted this on Facebook one time. I said, yo, who I gotta sell some pills to or sleep with around here to get a job, yeah? I couldn't even get a job at Amazon where they hire anybody. But it wasn't meant. And I think there was, maybe not people, but there was something spiritual going on, right? So you continue along level 2, and most people can't handle level 2, and they kind of yield back to the world. And I did too, in the sense of like using, but I had too much mental and spiritual information to kind of stay in that space. That's why I kept going back into treatment. You know what I'm saying? Because something was spurring me back. I would just use to give myself a mental break or escape. You know what I'm saying? But you continue along that, you end up developing a relationship with yourself and a relationship with the Most High. Because it seemed like that's it. It's you, the Most High, and the world around you. But there's probably not a lot of support, or in my particular, like, I was in a very, living a very meager existence, right? But even with that, even though I'd never had no job and all that, I still had everything I needed. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't break through. It wasn't meant to break through because I hadn't been trained up in that season for a minute. So then, you know how you pass level 2? Back to what I was saying at the start of the video. You just accept it for what it is. Now, once you accept it for what it is, you can see things play out around you. You can perceive the events around you. Just like when I was at the job. Like, I perceived what was going on, even though I had no intellectual knowledge of such. But my intuition told me what to do. And then it was validated after I left. You know what I'm saying? Which then helps me trust my intuition. Because this game, now you start discovering that this game is all spiritual. So now you start seeing things through a spiritual lens. Again, drawing back to what I said beforehand about, practicing acceptance in one area, not another. Or because of so many attacks, now I'm guarded up for attacks that may come, that have never came. That's a spiritual thing. You see what I'm saying? So you graduate from that into level 3, right? Where they may attempt to, unalive you, or I know it sounds drastic, and I'm pretty sure it has happened, right? But at that point, and this the point I'm at, and I'm going to close on this, right? Where, with these various hypothetical things I'm coming up with my mind, perceiving events before they happen, that have never happened, and how I'm going to respond, preemptively or with foresight, right? Here's the point you got to get to, right? And this is the point we're probably at now. Now, physical fights and stuff like that. Like, let's say all the physical fights I've gotten into, right? If I won, I really didn't bless them the way I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Or in the physical fights that, let's say, they got out on me, what they attempted to do, like, nobody ever, like, punished me into the earth. You know what I'm saying? So I can't do them but so bad, and they can't do me but so bad. Here's the key on level 3, which I believe we're all in at this point. You give everything to the Most High. There's nothing left to figure out. You understand me? It's already figured out. You just got to walk it out. And as you walk it out, you won't necessarily intellectually understand the way I keep trying to for some reason. You'll come into the revelation of such. You see what I'm saying? Lean not to your own wisdom and understanding, but in all your ways, Reverend Yah, and he will lean direct. I might be splicing them together. Or all else will be given unto you. It's the most simplistic way to disseminate the information that I tend to make overly complicated. It's already figured out. There's nothing to think about. You see what I'm saying? Give all your issues to the Most High. I don't care what it looked like. And here's how I got to this point. By the circumstance and situation he allowed that are actually putting me in an environment to foster my spiritual growth. Now, I'm looking at custody as, they're coming after me. They're trying to stop progress. They're, trying to hit my heart and all that. Or I'm looking at whatever issue with the old job or whatever the case may be, right? Now, mind you, I can go through a course of action with an offensive measure, right? But every time I put myself in that position, I always get some message through YouTube or however I get the message saying, no, don't do that. Which puts me in a place where I have to exhibit faith. Because in my mind, if I don't take the offensive, they might try to run a blitzkrieg on me. Calvin, name one time they ran a blitzkrieg on you. I can't. You see what I'm saying? It's just that I'm protective of the progress the Most High has allowed me to garner. But I probably, the way I'm set up, couldn't protect it if I wanted to. How I protect it is by giving that to him, which he's given me, back to him. You gave it to me. I can't just willfully sin or do something I know not to do and all that. But these various hypothetical situations I'm constructing in my mind that have never happened and ain't gonna happen, or what if this does happen? I just give all that to the Most High. Most High, well, if I said whatever about the old job and somebody feel whatever about it and they jump my face and say something stupid, can I control myself? Yeah, I have the ability to control myself. In my mind, I don't want to control myself because I want to make an example in case anybody else was thinking about it. You see how far I'm going down the rabbit hole with this? This takes away from, I guess I would assume this applies to the simplicity in Yeshua. You know what I'm saying? And to this point, ain't nobody ever did it. And I've ran into people. Now, I might not have used their name in it, but they know who it's referring to, seen them, and they speak. Or they kind of look like, is that really him? Like maybe they seen an anomaly in the matrix or whatever. But ain't nobody there did none of that. You don't have to defend yourself. I mean, yeah, if there's an actual tangible physical threat, yes, that's practical. But all this wanting to defend yourself from invisible arrows, you already got the armor on. The only offensive weapon you got is your sword, which is the word, which is Yahoo go before you in battle. You know what I'm saying? Once you get to level 3, you understand all of this is spiritual. These drones, LeBron leaving, whatever going on with Remy Mom Papoose, it's all spiritual. And once you understand that, I think you take your power back. Or the power you never knew you had. You know how dismissive it is if I walk up to somebody and call them all out their name and they just look at me like I'm stupid and go on with their business, you see what I'm saying? All this seeping to siphon energy as we see that, like, not just, they say, fossil fuel, I don't know how true it is, but the energy levels or the energy reserves are being depleted. That's why they're trying to go green and all this here. Probably so. But the only people left with true energy is me and you. Yeah. So that's just to get here for this Sunday. The art of not responding. And like I talked about in previous videos, wanting to, and that was the temptation too, wanting to vindicate myself. You know what I'm saying? And I messed around, got off the path. He restored me though. I was like, you know what I'm saying? And I messed around in an effort to vindicate myself and went past the mark and end up causing more harm than good. You know what I'm saying? So I hopped on here and talked about that. And then praise the Most High, he restored both parties. You know what I'm saying? So all that wanting to, like when these various naysayers or the smear campaigns or, it's hard and it might get you off your path a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But you just gotta let them folk talk, man. You know what I'm saying? Only guilty people attempt to defend themselves. If I did what you said I did, well, let's go court down. You know what I'm saying? But they want to smear your name in the court of public opinion. You know what I'm saying? Not that I care about other people's opinions. You know what I'm saying? Like, like if I ain't do something, I'm not going on no Chitlin Circuit run I didn't do this. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time. I know I ain't do it. Like I told my probation officer one time. I know I ain't do it. God know I don't do it. I ain't do it. I don't care what nobody think. Respectfully, Miss Probation Officer. You know what I mean? They were blown away by that. And then I just kept on going about my business. You know what I'm saying? All this, whatever, is to get you off the path or to get you to refocus your direction to things that aren't tangible. Fear, false evidence appearing real, to take your focus away from what the Most High is doing in your life. And we're at that hour. And on that note, man, I'ma holler at y'all, man. One love. Ooh.